The Ohio and Indiana Bar Associations require we give the addresses of the attorneys on the show. Today we have Dr. Jason Moore, not an attorney, but an ER doctor and president of Mission Clinics International, 115 South Campbell Road, 248-246-7248. You can get all his information at missionclinics.org. And of course we have Dawn Moore and Dan Moore at the Moore Law Firm. You can find them at moorelaw.com. You can find all this information by going to fox19.com and clicking on the Moore Law tab. Now, we did want to get to a few more callers, or did you want to speak first about the picture that you brought, or the graphic?
Yeah, and I think it's also important that we note on the Fox 19 website that they can actually see the shows. We've mentioned that from time to time, that if they want to come back and see any show, this show or any other show, that it's available to them. I wanted to talk a little bit about medical malpractice cases. We get lots and lots of calls about those all the time, and some fundamental information that I think people would like to know. One is there's a 1-year deadline. Now, there are certain circumstances where the 1-year deadline can be extended, but don't count on it. So if you think you might have a medical claim, you need to get information on it right away, because the 1 year passes really fast. The other thing is that you need all the medical records. No lawyer or doctor can evaluate your care without the complete set of medical records. Thirdly, a doctor has to testify not only at trial to prove your case, but in order to bring a medical malpractice case, you have to have an affidavit before you're even allowed to file the complaint. That's one of the things that makes these things so expensive. So far and away, in our office, we turn down 90-something% of inquiries regarding medical malpractice just because they're so complicated, they're expensive, they're difficult, but obviously we handle them because there are so many where people are seriously injured and they don't really have another chance of recovery.
All right. Well, let's hope that Miguel's problem isn't quite that severe. But Miguel, you had a question about the long-term effects of medication.
Hello.
Hi, Miguel. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm in pain management at the moment, and my doctor and I my doctor's been really wonderful with my treatment. But I'm worried about my long-term effect on the what it could do to my liver. What can I do? And how can I prevent it to do any damage?
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. What is the, the over/under on that? When it's worth taking the medication, or when you need to be, overly concerned about what it's doing to your body?
Well, ultimately, you have to go under the guidance of your physician who's prescribing it. You have some degree of trust in what your physician knows your medical case, knows what other medications you're on, and just follow the advice of your physician. There's some medicines that interact with other medicines, particularly with pain medicines. A lot of those have Tylenol in them or acetaminophen. And so you don't want to take other medications that your doctor would not know that you're on. So that potentially could have an effect. Otherwise, just follow your doctor's advice, and they will monitor you as needed and let you know if you're getting to be having too much in your system.
Okay. All right, let's go to Robert in Cincinnati. Robert, as I understand it, you have some issues with some bills following surgery. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yes, I had caught an infection at a hospital, and the insurance company got reimbursed, I guess, because they said that it was the hospital's fault, so they got reimbursed. But now the hospital has been going after me for the bill. I'm just trying to figure out what can I do to kind of stop that.
Don, this might be one better suited for you, I think.
Yeah, Miguel, one of the things that we come into sometimes is where, first of all, with infection, that isn't necessarily negligence at all, but sometimes it is. It depends on what's going on. Number two, if the insurance company has actually been reimbursed or the hospital has forgiven payment on some of the bills, that would tend to indicate they've accepted a level of responsibility. The part of the hospital that you may deal with aside from billing would be risk management. Risk management is a part of the hospital that deals with claims from people who believe that they've been injured as a result of some sort of negligence. That's the best bet, and of course, finally, if you can't get any satisfaction by dealing with them directly, you can go back to an attorney and get advice that way. Now, you said 2008. One of the things that concerns me about that a little bit is your 1 year for a statute of limitations claim is long gone. Jason, do you have any insight into a situation like this, or is billing your thing?
No, that's the one advantage of working in the emergency room, is that I personally, as an emergency room doctor, don't deal with the billing aspect of it too much. Typically, though, there is multiple segments to a bill that you would get for medical care, particularly in a hospital. You're going to have some from the doctor, some you might have from the radiologist, some from the hospital themselves. So I know each one of those sometimes can be managed individually, and so that might have to be taken up individually as well.
Now, working in the ER, and I suppose as a physician, as a doctor in general, how do you ever worry? You know, you have people coming in. Do you ever think about, you know, I don't know, you don't want to think of somebody going to sue me, but I mean, do you, as you are performing procedures, are you to just completely have to focus on that person, or does it worry you at all?
Regarding like the legal aspect
Sure.
of it? Well, there's certainly, I would say this, that there is in the mind of every physician of any specialty practicing at any time, there is always in the back of their mind that sort of, if I do something wrong there, that there's going to be some repercussions for that. And I think there's some degree of that is healthy.
And you wanted to give a little advice to the viewers of what is the best time to go to the emergency room?
Yeah, and practically speaking, if you want to go to see the emergency room and you don't want to wait, unfortunately, you're going to have to get up early. You're going to have to go when no one else is awake. So basically, probably between, let's say, 4 in the morning and roughly 9 or 10 in the morning, you won't have to wait to go to the emergency room pretty much any day of the week.
All right. Well, Jason Moore, thanks so much for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And we wanted to talk a little bit about coming up in the next couple weeks. November 5th, Heard on the Job. November 12th, Veterans Benefits. And November 19th, Divorce and Child Custody. Did you have a nice time with your family today?
It's great. It's great. We should have them come on more often.
Absolutely. We will see you next week here on More Law. In the meantime, have a great week.